This is the plaintiff, Valeria Kovaleva Gervasio. She says she's had a very tumultuous relationship with the defendants, her landlords, for almost a year. Once she moved out, the defendants had her Mercedes E350 towed from their driveway. Now it's gone, after telling them it would be okay for them to leave it there. The defendants are terrible people who took her car and threw her out on the street when she was 9 months pregnant. She's suing for $5,000 for all she's out. These are the defendants, Ralph and Christine Naglia. They say the plaintiff's a big problem. The woman would even get physically violent at times. They finally got her out of the place. She barely took all her stuff, and she abandoned her car and their property. After 3 months, the town towed it away. It was a piece of junk. They never saw it run, and they owe the plaintiff nothing. They're accused of hauling off a car.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Valeria Kovaleva Gervasio?
Yes.
Okay, and Joseph Gervasio, you are representing both of you?
Yes.
You're suing Ralph and Christine Neglia?
Yes.
All right, for $5,000, a value of a vehicle that you say they improperly had towed from their home. Tell me what's going on.
Well, my husband went away and I was not allowed to stay at the house that I was renting.
Your husband went away where?
To jail.
For what?
Driving without license.
How long did he go away to jail for driving without a license?
Well, he was on probation, so it was
what?
violation of probation.
For what?
I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, he's your husband and you don't know whether he's on probation for?
It's been like a year ago, I remember.
You don't remember? What's her husband on probation for?
Supposedly, it was a restraining order for his mom.
Assaulting his mother.
Assaulting his mother? Okay, I can see why you forgot it. All right, so what happened? So he goes away, and then what?
And she got an order of protection against me, claiming that I hit her with a screwdriver in the head.
Did you?
No.
Okay, why do you suppose she did that?
Well, because I don't know.
Was there a reason that she wanted you out? She didn't like you? You had problems with her? You guys would fight? Was there something?
Well,
you weren't paying rent?
The rent was paid up to date, and I don't know what was the problem.
Okay, let me ask you then. Did you guys have a problem with her? Why would you want her out?
Well, there was numerous things. Joe and Valerie would fight constantly, screaming and yelling.
So this is before Joe went away?
Downstairs, yes. And one time we were scared. We went down there because it was so loud. And Joe is screaming out the bathroom window, "Ralph, help me, help me. Christine, come get me." He's out the window. She's beating him like you would not believe. And they broke the door off.
She pulled him back in the window.
She pulled him back in the window.
We saw it.
That was a visual.
I mean,
we saw it.
Then
did you call the police? No?
She was screaming, "Call the police."
It's that bad like you're describing, but you don't call the police.
He was on probation, and he was screaming, "Please don't call the police. I'm on probation. I'll go to jail."
He ran out of there, and we were standing there seeing if Valerie needed anything, and she slammed the door in our face. And that was it. I mean,
she wasn't a tenant, and Joe was.
But what kind of tenancy were he, she/she, they on? Month to month or?
Month to month.
Well, why don't you just evict them?
Well, we tried.
When we went to go tell her, we would try and work with her and help her out. She was
I don't know what that means. You wanted her out. That's not work with you and help you out. That's maybe work with you and help you out in terms of giving you time.
Well, she was there, and she told us she's not leaving herself,
Yeah.
and she threw us out of the apartment. And that was the day she attacked my wife.
How did she attack you?
She kicked us out the door.
The next day, my neighbor called me over and she says that you have 2 flat tires. She goes, "I'm not going to say." She goes, "that it was definitely her." She goes, "but I did see her go to the backyard." So when I went to the backyard to go talk to her, she threw the screwdriver at me through the window.
So she's inside?
Yeah.
And you're outside?
Yes.
And are you knocking on the window, banging on the window to talk to her?
I was just walking and I was hit. So I turned around and I came back in.
What's your version on that?
It never happened.
She's making it up.
And also about
Did you ever, hold on one second because I want to find out. Did you file an eviction case, yes or no?
No, not
You
yet.
never filed an eviction
No.
case. Instead, you went to the courts and got a restraining order against her with a stay-away order, correct?
Yes.
That, of course, allows you to get her out like this, right?
I guess it was about 3 weeks before she was served with the papers.
And how does that happen when she's served with the papers?
The police called. Well, she called the police.
Over what?
She said that we changed the locks.
Talk to me about that.
I came home after school one night, and I tried to open the door with my key, but the door was locked. Like I couldn't even get the key into the keyhole.
Okay.
And I called the cops to find out what's going on because I didn't want to deal with them. And they said, "Oh, there's order protection against you that you should leave. Like you cannot stay here."
The cops didn't come and talk to you in person? They did that over the phone?
No, they came. They came
Okay.
I called in. They came to the house and they gave me 40 minutes to get most important things because obviously I couldn't get everything out of the apartment. So I took whatever I could.
Okay.
Well, which wasn't a lot because I was 8.5 months pregnant at then.
You were what?
8.5 months pregnant.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
This is an explosive situation. The plaintiff was pregnant in a tumultuous relationship with her baby daddy, and the landlords couldn't take it anymore. There were restraining orders, flat tires, a mess. Let's listen.
You were 8.5 months pregnant?
Yes,
She was 8.5 months pregnant?
I gave birth 2 weeks after they.
Oh my goodness. All right, so how did a 1998 Mercedes E350 remain behind? Because if I'm picking the most important things, that would be one of them. And in fact, I would fill them with other less important things and take that with me. Why did that stay behind?
Well, as they said, they had no problems with Joe. I was gonna get the car, but I was the only driver. My mom doesn't drive.
Right.
So, and they only give
Why
me
didn't you just come back and get the car?
because they have order protection against me, and I
Yeah,
was
but,
not.
wait, stop. Why don't you just take the car with you at that time, drive it a block away, come back, and then, use that in your 40 minutes? Why would you leave your $6,000 asset?
Well, because they said there's no problem for me to leave it there.
Who said that?
Them.
Did that happen?
Not in that way.
How did it happen? In what way did it happen?
Well, when she was getting her belongings, or somebody, family members were coming to get belongings, I talked to Joe's sister. And Joe's sister said that, she goes, "Is it all right if the car stays for a couple of more days?" Because originally it was Joe who had said, "Can I leave the car in the driveway, or can I leave it, that." He goes, and then somebody, so we're like, fine, yeah, that's fine. And then we had called Joe's father numerous times, called Joe's sister numerous times, no calls back about the car. We had the police come, give a ridiculous amount of tickets.
What do you mean you had the police?
No. The police would just pass by constantly
And give
looking
tickets?
for Joe.
Well, was the car in your driveway or was the car in the street?
It was in the driveway, but the front tires were in the street. Because it didn't work. It didn't.
We have a basketball net where the kids played, so we always kept the cars back out of the way. And he was like,
So it was partially in the driveway, partially in the street?
Yeah.
Do you have a picture?
No.
And so it would keep amassing tickets?
Yeah. I left messages. My husband left messages, and we got no calls back. And
So
then
eventually you do what?
well,
nothing.
A couple of months went by.
Months?
Months.
Yeah.
And again, I called, and I got no call back. And I think it was the next couple of days.
When was it towed?
It was either the end of June or the beginning of July.
And then if it's towed, then why don't you just pick it up from tow?
Well, there is no record that it's been towed. That's why I don't know if it was towed or they sold it to a junk cars.
Did you sell it to a junk car?
Can I say that?
I had.
Go ahead, you have what?
I just have paperwork from the town because it takes 3 weeks to get the Freedom of
Information
Act. So they told me it took 3 weeks. I only had 1 week to do it.
Okay.
To
So
get
you
all
have
this
paperwork
together.
from the town
But they
that
just that you cannot have an unregistered or uninsured car.
Did you guys ever call to see if it was towed, or you didn't have the information to call about that?
I did actually, and they said that they did.
How could you possibly do it? You don't know the VIN number of Joe's car.
I have a friend in the.
Oh,
And I
you
just
had
said,
them-
could you
and
just
what,
check
gave
for me?
your address?
I said, could you just check to see if there was a car towed? I said from
And
the
your
town.
friend couldn't get you some paperwork on
They
it for
thought it
court?
might have got stolen because it disappeared, or they took it.
Did you think it was stolen?
Stolen or taken? We just.
Do you think it
didn't
was towed, stolen, or taken? What do you think?
know. It was gone. We just.
What do you think?
Oh no, I know it was towed.
Towed.
How? Because
Towed.
you're a friend?
Yeah.
Did you ever call the city and get the car towed?
No.
Okay. I'm going to find out what happened to this car. Court is in recess.
All rise.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if you had a tenant who threw a screwdriver, verbally abusive, 8.5 months pregnant, would you try to get rid of him or would you be understanding?
I would throw her out.
Anybody, would you be understanding? I mean, they could be hormonal, they could be this and that.
I would try to be understanding. However, if she continues with that type of behavior, then
How many screwdrivers would she be allowed to throw? What do you think?
I think I would throw her out. That's just not acceptable behavior.
Even if she's 8.5 months pregnant?
Even if she's 8.5 months pregnant.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay. There's something making me uncomfortable about this case. I have like this little nagging suspicion that you might have figured out a way to not have to be like other landlords and actually patiently wait through an eviction. I don't need to figure out whether you really threw a screwdriver or they made it up to get you out instantly, because it doesn't really have anything to do with this case. So I don't need to continue to ponder it, but there's something about that bothers me. There's just a little something that's not passing the smell test with me, particularly with an 8.5 month pregnant woman. Whether you like her or not, whether she cursed at you or not, it would just be the height of immorality. Having said that, the only issue that's before me in your lawsuit is whether or not they have to pay you back for a car. And your only possible theory to be able to claim $5,000 is if they did something wrong, such as giving permission and then surreptitiously calling the city to get them to tow it because it's illegally on their property. And then all of a sudden you're out that. Or stealing the car, which you have no evidence of. Or selling the car or junking the car, whatever, which you also have no evidence of. You have no evidence of any of the theories that you have. However, I went ahead and called the city. The car was towed. And it was towed because it was unregistered. Pure and simple. So they do not have to pay you the value of the car because it got towed thanks to Joe and or you not having the car registered. The odd part is that when the city does that, they send notices to the last known address. So if you guys didn't update your address, that's why you didn't get notices. But you'll need to pursue that with the city. You have your car's VIN number. You probably already called to find out what happened to it. If I was able to do that quickly, and I'm not you or Joe, you're able to do that as well. My verdict in this case is for the defendants.
Plaintiff's leaving the courtroom here first on the losing end of this verdict here. What's going through your mind here in terms of a comment?
I don't think it was fair enough.
Well, why didn't you look after it, get it registered, find out what happened to it, anything?
Well, because I was not allowed to go there and do anything with the car, and it was registered then under my boyfriend's name, so legally I couldn't do anything.
Really? The judge was able to find it all out in about 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm not a judge.
You could have done the same. You could have made the same phone calls.
Well, I'm not a judge.
No. All right. You go right down there. All right. So come on in here and and tell me what happened here. Why did you have to wind up in court over this?
I really don't know. I guess they just having problems with money. I guess I don't know because they're suing us also 2 other times. Besides this,
they destroyed our apartment for thousands and thousands of dollars, and a year has gone by, and we didn't go after them because we felt bad for them. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to get money.
For nothing.
We tried to be nice guys. And
okay. All right. Got it. Harvey?
Just so you know, there's no magic amount of time before property becomes abandoned. It varies from actually city to city. What you should do before you start taking action like this is call your local police department, find out what the rules are in your city. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.